It's been a year since the revelations of the fish rot corruption scandal left us reeling, and we have seen fervent bail applications being made by almost all the fish rot accused that have been incarcerated, except for the alleged masterminds Saki Shangala and James Hautuikuilipi. I spoke to the hero Johannes Stefansson, who despite his role in the corruption in Namibia's fishing industry, blew the whistle, implicating himself and forcing an investigation into this rot, which has been ongoing for a number of years now, because it appears that the rot continues.
There is a lot of flags being raised, because, first of all, why is Hænast now been sold to Tunakor, and why, as we have seen in the media, why are the three quota holders, which are minority shareholders in Hænast, not involved, and why were they kept out? And this raises a lot of questions what Samherji can do in the country, which doesn't make much sense. And then there is recent news that there is a fishing vessel named Ernir, which is owned by the Icelandic people, which have a history of corruption in Iceland, and they are also working with Tunakor. And this is also raises question: is Samherji involved in there? Because how come they are working with Tunakor, the same company which Samherji has been in contact with, and for Tunakor to buy Hænast? So, it also raises question: is Iceland actually just exporting corruption to Namibia? We can see there are some companies which have always had some corruption schemes in the past, because it was not only the fish rot. And we have seen them growing, and we also see there's a lack of transparency of the quota allocations in 2020. And there is not an honest system in place, and there is still the well-connected business people and politicians who are benefiting from the quotas. So, I'm sure now more and more will come up on the surface, because now we also know very much the formulas used as it was in the fish rot, and the formulas are more or less the same. And also people are speaking more and more up. There is more information coming, and we will see more coming on the surface, because also it's very good to see how people are fighting corruption just officially. Mm-hmm. So there is a long road ahead to clean up the industry and let the disadvantaged Namibians benefit from the fishing industry. Now it's mostly in a few selected hands of Namibians and also some foreigners, and this needs to change.
I asked Johannes Stefansson what he thinks the outcome of the December 14 hearing of the case will be.
The fish rot cases continue. We will see more cases probably build up, and we will see more cases against Samherji, and the fish rot cases. There are several, and I think what is now been put on in the court system, on the e-justice, we see a very good work by the prosecutors and investigators, and I think there are many cases in fish rot. So this is just. We will see a lot more to be exposed, in my opinion. First, the investigators and prosecutors have done a super and very brave work, and very professional. And I came to Namibia in August 2018, and they have worked very well since then. And I met first the FIC, Financial Intelligence Center, and the police. And later ACC came on board, and this just shows how good work they have done, and to have taken this so far. And they have definitely built a good cases, and very professional, and the Namibian investigators and prosecutors are setting the standard very high for other countries to tackle corruption. And I believe this is for me to come forward and have met the right people, I think is quite unique. And that, just for me as coming forward to have, to see these cases going so far is very good. And it's also very good for my mind, because, I came forward and to see progress for the Namibian people, and see justice served, and we will hopefully see everything paid back, which was stolen from the sharks and those who are associated with the sharks and Samherji. there is a long road ahead, and for me, I mean, I'm quite happy with the progress, and I'm also very positive and optimistic for the way forward.
Samherji, the Icelandic company that is said to have colluded with government officials and paid bribes, appears to take no responsibility for their actions. I put this to whistleblower Johannes Stefansson.
I mean, this is just shows how Samherji is, they have no respect for human lives, they have no respect for the law, and they're just trying to undermine the very good work of the prosecutors and investigators in Namibia. And it just shows how arrogant they are, and they think they are above the law. And but I'm very confident in the investigators and prosecutors in Namibia that they will seek justice and they will get them in the end, because probably the biggest beneficiary who benefited most is Samherji, and they have for sure stolen a lot of money from the Namibia. No, the DNB bank is that the Supervision Financial Authority, I think it is called in Norway, they have said that they will most likely put a fine on DNB bank for lack of money laundering protection. And the fine will maybe be $45 million US. But also, I mean, I'm sure that there is going to be more crimes going to be exposed which went through DNB Bank by Samherji. I mean, Samherji for sure laundered more money through DNB Bank than it has been said. And I think this number will go much, much higher. And it's very good to see the Norwegian authorities making actions, and hopefully we will see more of it.
I asked Johannes whether the Icelandic justice system has made any progress on the case in his country.
I came forward in Iceland a little bit more than 1 year ago, and the only news we have, there are 6 people who hold the status of the suspect, including myself and 5 current employees of Samherji, and including one of the main owner and the CEO. And this is so far the only news. And the public in Iceland, they want to know what is happening, because of course people are concerned, because many corruption cases have been silenced in Iceland in the past. And I mean, as I said, the corruption is very high. So, but I am fairly optimistic that the investigators and the prosecutor in Iceland will make a progress. And also, I mean, Namibia is setting the standard very high, so Iceland needs to follow. And there is also, of course, pressure from outside, like in Namibia, and we see now what Norway is doing, the Norwegian authorities are doing, and we know Interpol is involved. So, I mean, Iceland will not get away just to silence this case, and I believe the investigators are doing their work, and we will hopefully find out soon.
The people of Iceland held various protests and demonstrations against this corruption a year ago. I asked Johannes whether the momentum has been sustained since.
The public in general is with the Namibian people on this, and they feel embarrassed about what Samherji has done to rob African nation, for their own pockets, and this is just a daylight robbery by Samherji and the Sharks, of course. And the corruption is much more in Iceland than people realize, and many people from the civil society here have been fighting corruption for at least 12 years, and they continue to fight. And there's a good support among the public with the Namibian people on this.
Whistleblower Johannes Stefansson will have to come to Namibia to testify, and I asked him whether he feels safe in doing so.
I will come and testify in Namibia, and of course I'm not going to be safe. But this is just many of the challenges. Me and my Christian from DRC, my brother, who've been in this from the beginning over 4 years. We have gone through so many challenges and life risks and so on. We take this as just another project, and he will be with me and our team, and so we will be ready for anything, as we have always been. We have experienced so many situations, and it's just part of it. We have always said we're going to finish this, and we will finish this.
Johannes Stefansson could face jail time if convicted for his role in the fish rod corruption scandal, and I asked him how he felt about that.
Yeah, I mean, I just accept my consequences by my role, and if I go to jail, I go to jail, and there is nothing to do about it. I've said I'm going to finish it no matter what.
Stefansson has been asked and invited to speak on various platforms to share his experiences. I asked him what insights he has gained about corruption in the world.
I mean, what has been quite good, I have used the opportunity to extend my network and network with NGOs who are fighting corruption, lawyers, and other good people. And the more I talk with them, the more I learn also about about corruption and the methods and so on, and including the money laundering, tax evasions, and there is so many good people out there in this world who want to see changes to it better, and they are quite interested in what's happening in fish rot, both in Namibia, what's happening in Iceland, and I think this is only good for us who are fighting in the fish rot.
Finally, I asked Johannes Stefansson to give a shout out to the people of Namibia.
Yeah, I must say I'm very proud of the Namibian people, how they are standing more up, and I mean, we see a great people, been fighting corruption for many years, including the media, including yourself, and there is a good solidarity among the people to take on corruption and see changes to the better for Namibian people, and this is very good. We see many good people in the opposite parties, and we saw the election the other day that there are new people coming in, and we should even just miss Dr. Job, now the new mayor, and he is fearless, and he has he fights for the people, and I'm sure we will see a lot of good changes coming, and I'm sure that more corruption schemes will be exposed. As we know also in the fishing industry, there's still a lot of corruption going on. It has been fantastic to follow the great good people of Namibia, how they are taking on the fish rot and the corruption, and it's really admirable. And as I said, all the opposite parties, the activists, the AR, and the media, you are all very brave and very good, and I mean, this is a great progress, and I think we all together we stand in this, and we will see this through and see changes to better, and we will see Samherji and the chefs pay for everything they stole, plus more, and see justice served. I went into this to see this all the way, to finish this, and there are people with me. And we always said we will finish this no matter what. We owe it to the Namibian people.
Excellent.